every 60 seconds. This company processes $3 million in transactions. They don't lend money, they don't take risks, and they've never met a debt they couldn't collect. You think it's just a piece of plastic? No, it's the world's most profitable toll booth. Imagine owning a bridge that connects every store on Earth to every bank on Earth. Every time someone crosses that bridge, you take a cut. You don't care what they buy, and you don't care if they can afford it, because you aren't the one lending them the cash. That is the genius of Mastercard. While banks are sweating over interest rates and defaults, Mastercard is sitting on a digital highway that is virtually impossible to bypass. In the next few minutes, we're going to reveal how this invisible tech giant built a global monopoly, why they are secretly a cybersecurity powerhouse, and the one terrifying reason why even the biggest banks in the world are terrified to say no to them. Section 1. The Ghost Bank, how they actually make money. To understand Mastercard's power, we have to debunk the biggest myth in finance. Mastercard is not a bank. They don't have vaults. They don't give out mortgages, and they don't have a balance sheet full of risky loans. When you buy a $1,000 laptop, your bank, the issuer, sends the money to the store's bank, the acquirer. Mastercard is simply the encrypted, ultra-fast language they use to talk to each other. The brilliant loophole. Because they aren't the ones lending the money, they don't have to worry about bad debt. If the economy crashes and millions of people stop paying their credit cards, the banks lose billions. Mastercard, they still get their switching fee for the transactions that did happen. They have the profit margins of a software company with the stability of a utility provider. It is quite literally the perfect business model. Section 2. The two-sided monopoly, the network effect. Economists call this the two-sided market, and it's Mastercard's greatest weapon. Think about it. Why doesn't a tech genius just launch a better card tomorrow? Even if it had 0% fees, no one would use it because no stores accept it, and no stores will accept it because no customers have it. Mastercard spent 50 years solving this chicken and egg problem. Today, they are accepted at over 100 million locations. That reach is so vast that for a merchant, not accepting Mastercard is essentially a death sentence for their business. This isn't just a choice. For the global economy, it's a requirement. Section 3. The War of the Titans, Mastercard versus Visa versus Amex. Of course, Mastercard isn't the only bridge in town, but how do they stay competitive? The Visa rivalry. Visa is the heavyweight champion, processing more volume. However, Mastercard is often seen as the more agile sibling. While Visa dominates the US, Mastercard has been aggressively snatching up market share in Europe and emerging markets in Africa and Southeast Asia. The Amex difference. American Express is closed loop. They are the bank. This means they make more money on interest, but they can't scale as fast because they have to carry all that risk. Mastercard's open loop system, where they let thousands of other banks do the hard work of lending, allows them to grow like a virus, spreading into every corner of the globe. Section 4. The secret weapon, data and security. Here's the part most people miss. Mastercard is no longer just a payment company. They are a data and security empire. Every time you spend, Mastercard sees it. They don't see your name, but they see the trends. They know exactly when people in London start buying more coffee, or when people in New York stop buying luxury cars. They sell this aggregated data to hedge funds and governments for millions. Furthermore, they've spent over $5 billion in recent years acquiring cybersecurity firms. They provide the safety shield for banks. Now, banks don't just pay Mastercard to move money. They pay them to protect it. They've made themselves so useful that even if we stopped using physical cards tomorrow, the world's banking security would still run on Mastercard's brain. Section 5. The future. Can the bridge be broken? Is the empire invincible? Not quite. There are 3 barbarians at the gate. Digital wallets. Apple and Google are trying to hide Mastercard behind their own interfaces. Government rails. Countries like India with UPI and Brazil with Pix are building their own free payment systems that bypass Mastercard entirely. Crypto. While currently volatile, stablecoins represent a world where the Mastercard bridge isn't necessary. Mastercard's countermove? They aren't fighting these technologies, they're absorbing them. They are currently testing ways to settle transactions in USDC and are partnering with Apple to be the engine behind the Apple Card. The power of being invisible. Narrator. Mastercard's true power is that they are invisible. You don't think about them, but you can't live without them. They are the plumbing of civilization. They took the risk out of banking and replaced it with a permanent global toll. The next time you tap your phone or swipe your card, remember, you aren't just buying a product. You're paying a small tax to the most sophisticated network ever built. What do you think? Can anything actually take down the Mastercard Visa duopoly? Or are we stuck on their bridge forever? Let me know in the comments below.